dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, siete, ocho, uno, dos.
Hola amigos, welcome to Sing and Señorita, where I share lesson plans, organizational tips, and teaching tips that I've learned after 23 years of teaching. So today I just wanted to get on here and explain one of the favorite projects that I have for my level 2 students in detail so that you can better understand how I do this project in my class. And what that project is my Tienda de Ropa. So in this project, it's a designing and selling project. So we have been learning about Vamos de Compras and the different ways to describe clothing and going shopping. So why not have a shopping experience? So what I give my students, I set out 32 different sheets that have just very simple, basic pictures of clothing. So there are 32 different things. Let me skip back. I do have shoes in here. So there are different shoes, different articles of clothing. There are belts, accessories that students are going to choose two of. So I make copies. Typically, just FYI, what my students choose are the socks, the hoodie, shorts for the guys, belts, and shoes. Those are really my most popular things out of this packet, so I make sure that I do a lot of those. But I always make copies of all of them because some students just like to be individuals. So what I tell my students is that they are designing these clothes, but they want to be unique because they want to get their classmates to buy their products. That's the whole purpose of the project. They're designing these so that other students will choose their products. And then I give them two very unique designs that I made myself. So I have a little fiery dress here. And then I have my pencil socks, which I thought were adorable. But they want to be creative and they want their product to stand out. And of course they want to be neat because they want people to buy their product. So that is step number one. Usually I'll take one day just to give them time to design their product because I don't want to rush them through that. So we may review vocabulary, we may review something we did before, and then I give them the rest of the period to just design and to pick out their products. Then usually I leave a few days. That way, if they're not finished on that first day, we learn other things in the middle. And then maybe 2 days later, we start the writing process. So what I typically do is once I've shown them my examples, then I give them my example of what I would write. So they have a list of questions that they have to answer about each article of clothing. So I give them these on writing day. They have to describe what color their article of clothing is and describe like if there's designs on it. They have to describe that, what it's made of, what kind of material. Is it synthetic? Is it cotton? Is it silk? That makes a difference in whether people want to buy it. How much does it cost? And why do people need to buy that article of clothing? Also in that day, they're going to put a price on it. So when I talk about price, I tell them to keep in mind how much money people are going to have. So on the day of the buying experience, they're going to get a gift card. And I explain this to my students. So they get a gift card. They'll be turned upside down where they can't tell how much it is. As they come in the door, they're just going to pick one out. And so the price ranges from $100 to $275. And gift card is one of their vocab words, so it's great. So I tell them to keep in mind, that's how much you have to spend. Keep in mind when you're designing, you want to be unique. Keep in mind that the max somebody's going to have is $275. So you don't want to make your product $275. So after they design it and written it, they'll turn it in. I'll go ahead and make corrections. I'll pick out the best ones. So that is part of the competition. I tell them on that first day, I'm going to pick the best ones to put in my store. And so I will hang the pictures, and then what I do with their writing, if I choose theirs, I ask them to rewrite neatly, making the corrections that I made. So they get a grade on turning in this part. I make corrections, and then I ask them to rewrite it because they get extra credit if it gets on the wall. So a little extra effort will not hurt them. So then I put up their writing describing their product with the product, and I hang them around the room. Then when students come in on buying day, I have this little box with the gift cards turned upside down, so they just come in and pick out one of the gift cards. Then from the hanging file in my class where they pick up papers, they're going to pick up their response sheet. So it has 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. I usually do it double just in case they buy more products. So what they have to do on this, it asks, what did you buy? And they have to answer in a full sentence, I bought something. And then they'll put the number of the product. So when I hang these up around the room, I put a little square at the top with a number, and I number it from 1 to whatever the last product is, so that in case I can't understand what the writing is, at least I can see what the product was. And then they're gonna write how much. In the next one, it asks them, how much did you pay, and was it a deal? Or did they feel like it was a deal? So there I have their amount of money, and they have to write this in a full sentence. They just can't write numbers. And then the last one, porque lo compraste, why did you buy it? So they can either read of why the person said they should buy it, or they might come up with their own reason. So they have to spend all of their money within $15 to $20. So for some of them, that'll be easy because they've only got $100. So they're gonna have to add up and tell me how close they got on this column here. How close did they get to their money? And if they bring me their sheet and they're not close enough because I tell them to write what their gift card was for, then I tell them you gotta go buy something else. So they might have to use the back of the form. But this is their answer document where they keep their budget basically and tell me what they bought. And then as a very final step, after they turned in those papers, what I do is I keep tabs, and that's why I have them write the numbers on this part right here. I have either I do it or I have a student do it for me from one of my 3 classes that finishes early. I keep tabs on how many each of the products sold, and I have an award ceremony at the end. So I give them an award, one for the person who sold the most products. So, and then who made the most money also gets a prize, because yeah, you have to price it just right, and it has to be a great product, because sometimes the person who sells the most is just because it was cheap and they needed a filler item, like the socks usually end up like that. So I love this project because it's not only a creative project. Now I will say, I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot of work to do all of the reading and the writing, the reading and the correcting and the different things to give them advice, but it's so worth it for them to have that experience and go through that shopping and see how excited they get when their products start to sell. And you'll see them try to be salesmen and, hey, you should buy this, you should buy my products. So it's a really fun project. I hope that you get a chance to try it out in your classroom, and I'm gonna leave all the information in the description box. And hey, if you like these videos where I'm giving you different ideas and telling you what I do in my class, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Hit the like button so that I know what you want more of on these videos. And I hope you have an awesome week. Happy teaching.
1, 2